Hello and welcome to another episode of One Take Wednesday. If you're new to this is a series of videos I do every single week where I discuss a hockey-related topic and I do it in a single take. That means no jump cuts, no edits, no nothing. Just straight up raw footage for your viewing pleasure. Now, if you have been out of the loop, I mean like totally under just a bunch of rocks, the Flyers have unveiled a new mascot for their team in the likes of how do I put this? A really ugly offspring of Muppet characters. Gritty is his official name, and he looks like he's just in time for Halloween season. This is a mascot that was never designed, or at least it doesn't appear like it, to be adorable to children. He looks like he's there to scare the living crap out of them. Now, when Gritty was first introduced, my initial reaction wasn't great. It was more like, what? But after about a couple days, 1 or 2 days, as I saw the Philadelphia Flyers use him in marketing, Twitter, just publicly use him other than just the unveiling, I realized how much sense it made, because Gritty, for a mascot, is unique. Very much like how unique the Fanatic is for the Philadelphia Phillies. Not a typical mascot. Pretty much, off on its own, doing its own thing and typical mascot things. Obviously, he's out there, shooting the t-shirt gun and interacting with fans, but he's running over goalies. I'm just assuming it's a he. I'm sorry. It's probably, I guess it's an it. Really, we don't really know. But my goodness, Gritty is one of a kind as a character, and because of that, he's being talked about everywhere, essentially everywhere. It's the talk of the nation, or at least the hockey sphere, and then even outside a little bit of the hockey sphere. Everyone kind of knows that the Flyers, or at least an NHL team, released a ridiculous mascot. Now, I've worked with marketing agencies pretty much in my entire professional career. My dad, his entire life was in the marketing departments up until this past year. He retired. Don't worry, he's fine. But I kind of understand what goes behind the curtain, right? What exactly you're looking for, because you want to get attention, but you also can't do it in a way that hurts your brand. So I understand kind of where decisions are made, and there's no way that a group of people in marketing departments, and not only that, but also the Flyers organization signing off on them, that would come up with the idea that they didn't think would actually work. And the sense that it works in Philadelphia, a city that, has some crazy fans, also has the Philly Fanatic, the city of brotherly love. It makes sense. It really does. And the way they've used them has capitalized on it. Now, the way they're using them, the off-the-cuff type of usage and just personality of Gritty, they have to be careful with it. And I think they are going to be. Because if you keep doing that kind of stuff, you get into the news for weeks on weeks, people start getting sick of them, and it loses its initial hype, and it becomes lackluster, and people just then start hating it. You got to be really careful with kind of going overboard with things. And I think eventually, a couple weeks from now, they'll probably kind of rein them in a little bit. Now, it's all also going to depend on what actually happens during the NHL season. If there's some ridiculous events, obviously you're going to look for him to capitalize on that. I can't even imagine, but just certain plays or something that happens on the ice, and then it's just the door opens up for Gritty to do something weird. it's really going to depend on that. But at some point, it'll when games aren't really, nothing unique is happening in games, Gritty's going to have to kind of dial it back a little bit. And the one thing I do want to say is that although he just appears ridiculously ugly or whatever, hideous and scary as a full-grown 7-foot mascot, I have a feeling that for the whole merchandising part of mascot, of Gritty the mascot, and that's one of the reasons why mascots are a thing, is merchandise and everything, which is sold to kids, so you gotta look somewhat adorable. I think that's kind of the route they're gonna go with. They're gonna go more of like the Muppet style with the the plush dolls and all that stuff. The characters on T-shirts and stuff for kids. They'll probably go that route, make them a little more friendly looking on those, rather than kind of keep his ridiculous appearance. So definitely look for that. But in terms of the actual physical presence of them, I'm loving it so far. I'm infatuated with it. And I'm excited to see what happens in the near future and how this entire season goes for him, and also the future beyond that, because it's been a little bit since we've had a mascot really take the news by storm. So this is going to be an interesting story this year, one of the interesting non-hockey stories of this hockey season. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. Let me know what you think of Gritty. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always. Most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.